Hi guys, and today what we're going to be doing is talking about prepping products. As you can see here, we've got a wide variety of different products we're going to be prepping. So there is different things which we want to be taking into account when we are prepping our products. I've got a variety of all sorts. We've got dangerous goods on here, we've got liquids, we've got fragile items, wholesale items, multi-packs. So it's definitely worth tuning in and listening to this video and make sure that you're prepping your products correctly. Start off with what we're going to be doing is looking at prepping our normal products. Obviously these may contain batteries, so these might be classed as dangerous goods. There's no prepping necessities which we've got to alter from regular products, but we have just got to be aware that the shipping plan, these might have to go to a dangerous goods fulfillment centre. Amazon will tell you that when you create your shipping plan. All we need to be doing is taking our FNSKU label, which we print off, and we need to be placing it exactly over the barcode, just here. So as you can see, quite simple over there, and that is complete how we need to be doing it. Sometimes you might have one which is on the edge of a box. You just need to make sure that our barcode is fully at the bottom of the box. What we're trying to do is make sure the existing barcode is completely covered and then our barcode is fully visible on one face. So when Amazon are actually scanning these products into the fulfillment center, there is no problems. If there's problems, that means that obviously you're going to be slowing down the process of them getting shipped into Amazon. That's what we do if we have got one barcode on a product. With a different sort of product here, this is one unit for the ASIN. As you can see, we have got 10 batteries. It's on a blister pack, and as you can see there, so this can prove a problem for us. We've got all these different barcodes on one product. So what we need to be doing ideally is covering all these barcodes and then putting our FNSKU label on top. So then this product only has one FNSKU label on our actual product. For this, I have got a 6x4 label. As you can see, I'm just going to measure up, make sure that's covered. Then I'm going to use a pair of scissors just to make sure we can cover the barcode. Quite simply, just like that. As you can see, I have left a few stripes of the barcode down here, but Amazon's scanners will not be able to pick that up. So make sure that you try and cover them as best as possible. This is also for UPC barcodes and also EAN barcodes. And then, like I said, all we're going to do is take our FNSKU label, plonk it in the middle, and that product's there. Recommend doing is when we are using products which have got a blister pack, is you want to check the condition of the blister pack. Make sure it hasn't tore away in one of the corners or become loose. If it does, you might want to put that into a clear poly bag, and then that will keep that item all together. If the blister pack is damaged, that might turn up as a 9-pack of batteries. It's always good to make sure that your seals are really tight and make sure that that product isn't damaged. With the same for like the pens, this pen pack, as we can see, these are Sharpies. You want to just make sure that the corners where the blister, the plastic is actually onto the cardboard, isn't loose. If this was loose, what might happen is we might lose one pen and that might get us a negative review. The actual packaging is quite crumpled. As you can see, it is a little bit bent, mainly because this has been on my shelf of doom for a while, but that wouldn't stop me from sending this product into Amazon, as this product is like a consumable product. Pens, not many people's going to be caring about the condition of this cardboard. If this was Pokemon or Lego, which can be quite valuable, a lot of people collect this sort of item. If you had crumpled edges, that might be something which you might want to consider not actually sending in because it's damaged packaging. But something with a few slight bends like this, I don't think that's too bad. It is fairly flat anyway. Like I say, it's just where it's been sat on my shelf. We have just got to consider this when we are doing our inspection of our products before sending them in. What happens if our products are actually in a box like this? As you can see, this product is some perfume. This is come as a gift set. It's liquid inside. Usually with a liquid would be polybag in it, but because it's got this nice sheathing around the side and it's in a box, there's no need to put an actual polybag on this. So what I would be doing is going to the bottom of the product. As we can see here, we have got two barcodes like this. What we need to be doing is covering one barcode and putting our FNSKU label. So I'll show you what we could do. Get our handy labels. So I've covered that one with a blank. As we can see, I have still got a bit of the barcode just showing there at the top. And what we're going to do now is just put our FNSKU label, just covering it. And that's how we're going to send it into Amazon. Works with a lot of box products. If you were sending all sorts of different products in, beauty products sometimes come in a box, might be liquids, I wouldn't recommend taking them out the boxes. This box is designed to be shipped, and it is nice that that box is packaged in a presentable box. So all we would do is put our label at the bottom, make sure we're covering that other barcode. It's not just all about sticking labels on. There is some things which we do need to consider when we are doing our prepping for our products. So this next example, I want to show you something which we need to be looking out for on some of our consumables, and it's definitely something we need to be paying attention to when we're doing grocery products, and that's expiry dates. So what I wanted to point out to is this little symbol here. As you can see, it says 24M. So what happens there is this product has got a lifespan of 24 months once the product is actually open. You will see these sort of symbols on all sorts of products. As you can see, this Lynx one has got 12 months. This product, which we're going to be looking at later, has got 6 months. So these are symbols which we have got to consider, because sometimes Amazon will be asking for the expiry date of these products. It's always worth making sure that you don't cover these symbols up when you are prepping your products, or just taking a mental note, writing it down or something, just to make sure you know that product has got a lifespan of 24 months. I haven't got any grocery products which have got an expiry date on, but what we need to be doing is making sure that when we send our products into Amazon, they have got over 3 months expiry date on the actual product. So we have got to always consider what we're buying and how we're prepping our products, making sure that we've got enough of a expiry date on these products before actually sending these products in. For this product, I'll just be putting an FNSKU label on the bottom, making sure that's fully covered, as you can see, just like that. Next up, we've got these ladies' panty liners. So this is a sensitive product to be sending into Amazon. Obviously, a lot of VAT registered people sell these type of products because they're zero VAT products. What I've done in the past is put these sort of products just in some discreet packaging. So this is a dark poly bag, just in there like that. Take off the annoying little bit of plastic, which always sticks to your fingers. Cover that up, and then put our FNSKU label so Amazon can scan it on the outside, just like that. If you noticed, what I didn't do is put a label on the packaging inside. So we only need to put one label on, and that's on the outer packaging. I only recommend these sort of poly bags for kind of adult goods, possibly for discreetness. Not everybody wants to have this sort of product floating around. Might be open in front of family and friends, so it can be a little bit sensitive. I have actually received some good feedback from having darker poly bags for these sort of items. Just customers getting back in touch, giving the positive feedback, saying that they like the idea of the discreetness. They're not that expensive. They are cheaper than clearer bags, but you have got to always be aware that you must have suffocation labels on your poly bags. We will get onto poly bags in a second. I am going to show you a little trick what we could do with these awkward blinking plasticky things which always stick to our hands. Apart from that time, be doing is getting a bit of tape. So I've got this clear tape. You could use normal sellotape or anything like that. You want to go to either the end of your table, somewhere out of the way but close enough we could reach while we're prepping, and we just want to be sticking that upside down as a loop. So when we are prepping our products, what we could do is put our products in, get the plastic little rubbishy bit, put it onto this tape, and it saves it sticking to your hand. You will be stood there for days and days just shaking your hand and getting wrist ache. So this is a quick and effective way just to try and deal with this blinking problem. Moving on to our poly bags. As we can see here, I've got a nice clear poly bag. It's quite a big size. It could quite easily fit a baby's head in there. We're not going to try that for the obvious reasons. But as you can see, we have got a suffocation warning on these bags. For poly bags, what we need to be doing is using poly bags for liquids or potential products which could leak. So we have got the Lynx body wash. Now everybody else would probably say just put an FNSKU label on there, which is fine. You will get away with it. But once this gets knocked about in transit to Amazon, that lid comes up and that's where you start having problems. When these lids open, it's all it is, a little press on there. That is going to start getting body wash all over your products and damaging all of your inventory in that box. I do like to put my body washers and anything with a simple clip up, clip down, I do like to put them into poly bags. Yes, it does cost me a little bit more, but it saves me getting damaged inventory. So for these, what we'll be doing is you could stick a blank label over these, or put it into your poly bag like so. I'll be folding our poly bag over, ripping the tape off, sealing it. Because I've tightly wrapped this up in a clear poly bag, we can see this barcode. So what I would be doing is, because this product isn't going to move around too much, I'll be putting my FNSKU label just across this barcode. So when Amazon get it, it's not going to be disrupted by the product or the poly bag. It's quite easy. They'll just scan this product and that'll be sorted. And it just protects all your inventory which you are sending in. Obviously, it's your fault if products do get damaged, and you will have to pay for anybody else's products if you damage their products. Just a nice way to give you peace of mind, make sure that your products are getting into Amazon safely. Poly bag, you need to be putting the FNSKU not on the inside, on the outside, making sure that you are covering that barcode. Other items which need to be polybagged are fluffy, cuddly toys. So we've got someone pretty famous here. This is a Pikachu. If you've never watched Pokemon, it's Pikachu. Obviously, cuddly toys, they go into a factory. Factories can be very, very dusty. So what we like to do, and what you should be doing, is putting cuddly toys in a nice bag with a suffocation warning. These are going to go to children, so make sure that you have got suffocation warning labels on, and sealing the product like that. This product has got a barcode, so like with this product, because it's a fluffy toy, that label is going to move around and we can't guarantee that we're going to be covering that label. I would actually put a barcode over that initial barcode on the product, and then I'll put a barcode in a similar situation, obviously not covering the suffocation warnings, but I'll put our FNSKU label on the outside of this product, and then that protects the product. It's also nice for when the child, or the collector in this instance, is not going to be getting a dusty grotty Pikachu who's had a really bad day. There is also another method which we've got to be considering, and that's when we're dealing with fragile items. The next product I'm going to introduce is a flask. Yes, they are heavy duty, yes, they get chucked around and everything like that, but I have sent in a flask before which has got a glass lining. These are obviously fragile, they're getting shipped up and down the country. We don't want our customers getting damaged goods. All it's going to do is give us a negative feedback. So here's my flask. This wasn't the flask. This is a totally different branded flask. This one isn't actually glass lined either. It's the only thing I could think of which was fragile, and I also like the backstory of my previous experience. So I thought I'll bring the flask into the prep video and we'll get on to bubble wrapping. For bubble wrapping, it's not on all products, but I've got a big roll. I do quite a lot of fragile items, and I also do eBay as well. So I'm always using bubble wrap. Buy a big 100-meter roll like this. Not that expensive, to be honest. I think this one was probably about £30. It's like Christmas presents. Put it on there, make sure that you can actually get both sides, and then we'll just make a slight chop. So here we go. We need to make sure that that gets rolled up. I would always recommend making sure that the lid's firmly tight. We need to just roll it up, make sure it's nice and tight. It's quite simple, like that. Tape guns are good for doing your boxes, but for this, it's not really that good. I do like using clear tape. Obviously, it just makes it feel a little bit more professional. You can't tell it's brown tape or anything, so that's nice and tight there. It's not moving up and down. But we are going to tighten the bottom, so crumple the side in, like that, fold it over, just put a bit of tape on. So that's nice and solid at the bottom. Same again at the top, crumple it over, fold it in, and that just gives it that nice bit of sturdiness at the ends. Obviously that's where it could be getting damaged. That's nice and wrapped. So it's quite simple. Same again when I was polybagging. We don't put the FNSKU label on the inside on the product. This is how our customer is going to receive this item. This is why we must be doing a good job of our bubble wrapping. What we need to be doing, taking our FNSKU label and stick it on a nice surface. When it's a product like this, I do like to go up and down, just like you can see here, up and down. This just means that the barcode on the label is going to be on one surface and it's not going to be on a bend like this one. I think for this product, you will be alright getting a scanner and checking the barcode on that. But if it was something which actually had a smaller longevity, if it was a smaller tube like fixing, which I could show you somewhere. So yes, if you was putting your SKU label on this product here, that'll be wrapping around the product. That just means it's going to be harder for Amazon to scan these products. So I always recommend, even Colgate has done this themselves. They have put the barcode upwards and not aroundwards. I'm using great words today, aren't I? But yeah, so that is bubble wrapping. This is essential for fragile goods. Voice of the customer and stuff. So you do want to be making sure that you check items are not received damaged. This could be an example of where you can make an improvement on your bubble wrapping skills. But like this product, that's pretty smooth. That's nice and tightly wrapped. Obviously, the customer is going to be really chuffed if they receive this item. One thing which I want to mention to you guys, if you're using products like this, not particularly these products, but products which actually have screw tops, what I would be doing is just making sure that these screw tops are tight, because when I've sent some products in like this, what's happened is they've not been quite on, and this is even at wholesale level. You just want to make sure that these products don't have loose tops. Loose tops, after a bit of vibration when they're going up and down the country, turn into that, and when that liquid starts going out, it becomes a big problem. And if that goes all over your products, especially something like whatever this is, hand gel, that is destroying. It's very liquidy, as you can see, bubbles floating around. So anything like that, that is just going to absolutely destroy your parcels. So you do want to be checking these lids, especially if you're sending in it with expensive goods, potentially like electronic goods or anything like that. You want to be making sure that all your liquids are polybagged and the lids are tight. So me and Pikachu say, I hope you like this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers!